Oh, it's always a good day when we're watching more Oshinoko, episode 7. We're coming off of, one of the best episodes of the show so far. The brilliant episode with Akane. Akane having some trouble, to say the least. Some really horrible, awful, I don't know how to say it without saying without saying words that could get me demonetized. Sorry, especially not at the start of the video. So, we all know what happened. It was a very depressing episode overall, but a really incredible sort of what's the word? A really incredible representation of how people's words online can legitimately affect people, and the people that it's going to affect are the people that you don't want it to affect, because it means they're more pure of heart if it's going to affect them, you know? So yeah, don't cyberbully. It's a pretty simple message, but it's something that like so many people who think they're good people still cyberbully people, and they think, oh well, they're a public, they have to have thick skin, they're a public persona or whatever. No, that's really ridiculous and stupid and short-sighted and immoral. But yeah, it was a great episode, and it really spoke to something that I care deeply about, so that's why I really appreciate it. And it was a great adaptation of that story in the manga, which also stuck with me then as well. So we're going to be jumping into episode 7 here, because at the very end there, Aqua was able to grab Akane and pull her off the ledge before she went to her death. So we are going to be jumping in right from there, and if you want to watch the full-length reaction of my reaction video, you can do that on my Patreon account in the description below. It's super worth it. Otherwise, please support the video if you can. Liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, all that stuff really sincerely helps me out. Helps other people be able to find me. And my Patreon account has a lot of stuff that's super worth it. I also just recently opened up a new tier on Patreon. It's quite an expensive tier, but if you want to recommend me to watch an episode of a show, like the first episode of your favorite show or whatever, you can subscribe to this VIP tier, and you get to recommend for me to do that, and I'll make the video. So yeah, just letting you know that that's an option. Let's jump into episode 7 of Oshinoko. Here we go. Oh, we're starting with it again. Oh man, the shock. Imagine the shock of feeling yourself jump. He's a smart man. Oh. Oh my god. Some people. Yeah. Yeah, you feel like the whole world's against you. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's not the show that gets lambasted. That's absolutely true. Yeah, you could just be like, they hate the character. She's so cute. The way they animate her. Oh, damn it. Oh. Oh my god, this voice actress is great. Akane's voice actress. Jesus. Oh, that's cute too. I'm gonna fucking cry this whole episode. It's true. Oh. God damn it, I'm gonna cry so much.
監督責任を問われる問題だ。
Mm.
こういう状況になった以上、やめるって言われてもとやかく言わないだろ
That's smart.
何もいっぱい助けてもらって。でもこんなことになっちゃって。
I'll give her more hugs. More
怖いけ
hugs.
ど、このままやめたくない。
わかった。だってさ、問題ないよな。
I love Aqua. I love how I was like, got it, let's do it.
同年代だけの現場だからな。多分みんなで協力して、いろいろ言われながらも
She's like surrounded by people now who are supporting her.
好き勝手いうネットのやつらにも
Mm-hmm.
腹が立ってしょうがないんだよ。
As they should. My God.
警察署にはうまくいくかはわからないけど、ここからが本当のリアリティショー。
He's so cool.
茜の自殺未遂のニュースが流れ、
現実はポーカーじゃないわよ。
He always has these grand
みんな
plans.
が映ってそんなたくさんはないよ。言うて100枚あるかないか。
That's a
めちゃ
lot.
くちゃあるじゃん。
Yeah.
何に使うの？
どんな成人も一面だけ切り抜いてつなぎ合わせ。
That's a great metaphor. Like a great way to show that.
それが演出っていうもの。
Just zooming into her with the blood. Oh, that's great.
自分で考えたの？
自分だけど。
へえ、感動悪くない。それって表面的なものでさ、実態としては数パーセント程度のものでしかない。
There's just a lot of silent
自殺
people.
未遂というセンシティブな話題、叩くべきか擁護すべきか悩んでいるサイレントマジョリティ。
Yeah.
動画のクオリティ次第ではデカめのバズも期待できる。完成したらデータちょうだい。アップしとくよ。
You've got a big following.
それくらい自分で。
アークタンは何曜日の何時にアップするのが一番リツイート数稼げて。
That is a real thing.
投稿が一こう見えてバズらせのプロなんだけど。
I believe it. You're a famous YouTuber.
よそに提供してたりすんだけど、なんかエモい感じで泣かせりゃいいんだろ。得意得意。
Everyone in this cast is so cool. I love them.
プロモデルの私が定点カメラの位置を気にしてないと思う？カメラに気持ちよく映る。
Oh my god.
表に出れば出演者たちを悪役に仕立て上げる演出をしたって白状するようなものですから。これだけ注目されてる中、茜へのバッシングが番組へ向かいかねないですもんね。
That's true.
早くて助かるよ。僕らは茜に何も強制していない。
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
茜の選択で35だけど。
茜は17だ。プロだろうと。
Yeah, just reminding you, she's a teenager, and
ばっかのクソガキだろう。
this you just made her almost, you know, end her own life.
大人がガキ守らなくてどうすんだよ。
And he's saying that as an adult as well. Like, Aqua knows what it's like to be his age.
頑張って作った感出るって。
ここで俺の曲でしょ。バーンって感じでいこうぜ。
They're all so into it.
エンコード終わったよ。投稿しちゃうから。
くそ、いいスペックのマシン使ってるな。
I wish I had a PC that could render super quickly.
それも結構難しいよ。気合い入れて作ったものほど意外と伸びなかったりする。
Yep, absolutely. I know that for a fact.
100リツイートくらいいけば。
お前が一番何もやってねえくせに。
リーダー面がひどいね。
Do you say 100 retweets in the first minute? The video surely is much longer. Nice.
努力家で一生懸命な茜のこと好き。だから怒らないよ。
Look how cute she is. Oh my god.
黒川茜のイメージを変革すると同時に、今勝ちの人気を決定
Yeah, of course.
炎上に完全な解決はないからだ。これ
Aww.
からも
I love that they're all excited she's there.
あ、今のは嫌な意味じゃないからね。私としては無理してでも出てほしいんだから。今のツイッターで言ったら軽く燃えるんだろうな。気をつけないと。
She's
こ
so
れからはさ、
online
茜はちょっと
conscious.
キャラつけた方がいいんじゃない？もう少し奥底見せてくれてもいいんだよ。
断る。
私、 演技は得意だし、やってみよう。
I'm glad she's confident enough to say she's good at acting.
むしろそれしか取り得ない。でもどんな役演じればいいんだろう。
Something pretty close to your personality still, at least, you know?
なんで俺に
今男君だけだから理想な。
顔のいい女。
うわ最悪。ゴンゲ出たな。
でもあれかな、ビーコ町の愛みたいな。
愛って
Yep,
昔
pretty much exactly like her, actually, now that you say that.
いやもうあれは天性のものだ。
頑張ろう。
Her with her little glasses.
私のためにアクア君の好みを演じてアピールしたら喜んでくれるかな。ビーコ町の愛、資料集めないと。
Can you, like, rent out some of her concerts?
愛情の抱き方に何かしらのバイアスあり。
Wow, look at her going so far into it.
完璧主義者。ファッションはやや無関心。視力はいい。
Damn,
嗅覚が過敏。教育レベルは低め。
so deep in the role.
思春期の段階で性交渉があったこと。
Oh my god.
いい出会いがあったのかな。
黒川茜、あのままリタイアしてくれればよかったのに。
お前さ、
She's too talented.
商売敵として。ああ、日本語怖いね。
That's the exact same thing Yuki said.
本日よりあかねちゃん復帰になります。
皆さん、ご迷惑をおかけして申し訳ありませんでした。そうだね、アクア。
Oh, fuck yes. The stars in her eyes.
もうカメラ回ってる？
Fuck yes. Oh, yeah. That's so good. Man, I cannot tell you how good of an adaptation this is. Oh. You know one of my favorite things in anime, like just an anime technique that I absolutely adore, and pretty much every time that it's used in a minorly successful way, it is like overwhelmingly incredible to me, and it's such an easy technique. I love when the ED music starts before the ED. That's it. That's all it has to be. They have a little section of the ED music that rolls into the ED. And you know why? Because it gives you the song that's like, oh shit, that's the ED music. The episode's about to end. But when, you know, like it's a sad feeling of like, oh damn, the episode's about to end. But at the same time, it like starts to become associated with, but here is the important thing. You know, like this is the thing that you need to focus on. So in the last episode, it was like all this doom and gloom and stuff, and then Aqua pulls her off, and then the music goes bam. It starts as Aqua's like, I'm not your enemy. Bam. Your mind immediately is going to file that away because it's like this is being supported by this music. And it's this recognizable music, you know? It's like when My Hero Academia, they use You Say Run as their big, like, this is an action moment that is like the most heroic moment possible. That's generally what they use You Say Run for, is like the peak of heroic moments. And it's an incredible song and stuff. And you start to, in your head, subconsciously and sometimes consciously, associate these incredible feats of heroic, you know, bravery or whatever with this song. So if you hear this song, you're instantly going to be like, wow, this is heroic. You know, that's just the thing that you feel. And they did it in this episode where it's like, oh, she's just walking in, you know, it's very normal. And then she starts to talk slightly differently, and then the music starts, and it's like I perk up, you know? I'm like, hang on, this is important. She opens her eyes, there's the fucking stars in her eyes. Incredible. It's amazing. Now, I've always adored this series' use of eyes. The whole, and I'm saying eyes as in EYES, eyes, not AI. their use of eyes is so incredible in this series. And I mean, the logo has an eye in it. Like it's very clearly like the main motif of this series. But I've always adored it. I've always thought it's just incredible because it starts off with like being a representation of AI, her sort of her way of drawing you in, you know, her way of being charismatic, her way of you know, be like standing out in a room. Her eyes were majestic and incredible, and like we can tell through the animation, through the character design, that everyone is looking at her because of the way that her eyes are done, you know? So it's a great way to illustrate her stardom that is evident in her eyes. And then it does a good job at like showing the connection of like Aqua and Ruby both having 1 star each. And they use the eyes in different ways, you know? Ruby, it's like when she wants to be more like her mum, her eye shines more and they focus more on her eye. Aqua, when he starts to get into a dark place and he's like heavily focused on a goal and hyper focused on it, it shows his eye, but it like shines darkly, like shines with blackness, you know? That is a really beautiful way to illustrate that. And it, you know, it comes from the mother, you know, like the Ruby's excitability and her like pushing herself to get as much as she can get and like live the life she wants to live, that comes from her mother. The same way that with Aqua, the sort of dedication, the doing anything to achieve your goals, like even if it means lying, even if it means not always doing the right thing necessarily, that also comes from his mother. So so I think that it's this really, really awesome way of like showing that eye lives on through them. And now we have Akane opening her eyes and having eyes, which is so brilliant and amazing. And you know, the series is going to do that a lot, that sort of thing a lot, and it's a reoccurring motif, and it's so fucking good. I also love the way that this show specifically, you know, this is less in the manga, I think, and more in the show, has a lot of reflections in their eyes as well. You know, it's often, we're often seeing other people through their eyes literally as they're looking at something or looking at a screen or anything, and we're just seeing the reflection of the screen in their eyes. And it works in several ways, you know, we're like literally seeing it through their eyes, so you got that that whole metaphor going, but at the same time it also serves as good filmmaking because we can see both the content of whatever they're looking at and their reaction to it in the same shot, which is absolutely brilliant. And just like visually, it just looks great. So it works so well on many different levels. The whole online hate thing from people reminds me a lot of The Last of Us 2, when The Last of Us Part 2 came out. I'm not going to spoil The Last of Us Part 2 for you guys because not everyone's played it and some people have watched the show but they don't want to get spoiled for Part 2. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is a character that a lot of people dislike disliked when the game came out, especially early on in the game's life, because the main thing was there were leaks of the game. People read the leaks, which is freaking stupid, but people read the leaks of the game. They read how the story plays out without actually seeing how it plays out, but they read how it plays out. They were angry at it, and then the game came out and people played the game already being like, well, this is fucking stupid, fuck this stupid game, and then they were even more angry. And there was a character that a lot of people hated. I'm not gonna say who it was, but this character was voiced by Laura Bailey, and Laura Bailey is the sweetest person in the world. Her, like, the actress Laura Bailey. If you watch Critical Role, which is a D&D show where they play D&D, and it's a bunch of voice actors who play D&D together. Laura Bailey is one of the voice actors on that, and she is incredible. I'm absolutely in love with Laura Bailey. I would be I would want so badly for her to be single if it weren't for the fact that Travis Willingham is also and such an incredible guy that I am actually happy that she has such an incredible husband. So, but like otherwise, I'm so jealous of Travis Willingham, you know. But at the same time, I love Travis so much that I'm kind of also jealous of Laura for getting to date him. So, anyway, she's an incredible person, but she received a lot of hate and death threats and all that sort of stuff for this character in the game, which she had, like, she portrayed the character, but she didn't choose how, like, what the character did. So it was extra ridiculous. Like, it was even more ridiculous than this, where it's like people, like Akane did actually hit the girl, but that's nothing to get angry over. But it reminds me a lot of that situation, because it's so utterly ridiculous, and the person who is receiving it all is like the perfect human being, you know. Akane in this, Laura Bailey in real life. It's this like really, really, really sad moment there, and spawned a lot off of just like pure volatile hatred. And when they were talking about the fact that there are, like, it is actually technically a minority of people that feel this way, but there is so much of, like, because they're the vocal minority, there's so much vitriol there that it feels like the majority. And because it feels like the majority, the people who are actually in the majority are reading this stuff on their timeline, and they don't think they can speak up, you know? And I understand that, because the internet has a hive mind. Like, it has a decision at any given page or subreddit or section of, like, comment section or whatever. There has been a decision made of, like, this is the popular opinion in this section. It doesn't mean the majority of the people who are looking at that section have that opinion, but rather the majority of commenters or the most passionate commenters have decided this is the only opinion we're going to accept from this area. And the thing is, if you try to penetrate through that opinion with any of the best intentions, you will then be the subject of a lot of that hate, you know? There is this huge ball of hate, and at the center of it, someone is getting hurt on all sides by it, you know? This absolutely huge ball of flame and hate and spikes and poison and everything. And there is a person in the center who is being damaged all around them by everything, right? You, being this small, can try to reach in and grab them, but the only way to do that is to swim through to the center and try to grab them and try to pull them out, which seems futile. Now, if everyone did it, they could quite easily swim in and grab them and overwhelm them and create their own bubble of protection or whatever. But because we don't think everyone else is going to do that, if we were to do it, all we're doing is not making any progress towards them and getting hurt ourselves. So that's what it feels like, I think, a lot of the time for these people, is they, and I say these people, I feel like that part of it I'm guilty of, is seeing, like, the internet go so hard on something or someone and be so horrible towards them, and feeling like I can't really do anything. And if I speak up and say, like, well, actually, I think it's all right, you know, I think that this person's great, or I think we should, you know, like, yes, this person did something wrong, but we should ease off a little bit, you know, relax, give them some space. If I say that, I feel like I'm going to be collapsed upon. And it's a scary feeling, and because of that, I tend to ease off. I tend to get to move away from the conflict, because I don't want to be part of the conflict as well. And it's a huge thing that happens, but it is something that happens a lot online. But yeah, just generally, if there's anything you take away from this show, just relax online. Just stop yelling at people. Stop calling people slurs. Stop telling people to kill themselves. Stop being toxic towards fucking anyone. Just stop it. Stop being toxic to anyone. You don't need to be toxic to get any sort of points across, really, at all, you know? If you're writing fuck you to someone, for the most part, like come on, relax. Take it back a notch. I know it seems like a minor thing at the time, and I know maybe you feel like that person deserves it, really, really deserves it, but there are better ways to do it. Sometimes the best way to do it is to turn off your computer and step away, you know, let yourself calm down. Sometimes you feel like someone's doing something wrong, you will tell them or whatever, but there's a difference between telling someone they're doing something wrong and being toxic to them, and there's a big difference there. But yeah, anyway, I liked the parts of the episodes where everyone is supporting Akane and she has like a full support system around her. I honestly wish, like, if I was in that situation, I would have said, like, Akane, do you want to come stay at my house for a few days or for a week or whatever, you know, like, just so that you don't have to be alone, just so that, like, if you ever start to spiral, you have someone to talk to, you know, like, I'm saying this completely, you know, let's get rid of the idea that that I love women, you know, like, take that out of the equation. I'm not making a joke of like, oh, she should come over or whatever. I legitimately think no matter who it is, if they were in like such a dark place like that and they needed that much help, I think in this situation I probably would say, like, I think you should just stay over at my or someone else's house for a while, just so that you have something, so you have someone just to support you around you. Because I think she started to feel a lot better in the police station or whatever after she cried her eyes out, and then she came out and everyone collapsed onto her and was like, are you okay? Like, you know, we don't think that about you. You know, like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna support you. We're gonna be behind you. Do you want to quit the show? We can help you quit the show. You know, stuff like that. It's incredible. What a great show. I'm gonna end this video there because I might just talk about cyberbullying for another 25 minutes, and I'm sure people don't really care about that anymore. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please support it if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. All that stuff really helps me out and helps other people be able to find my content. And also my Patreon account has full-length early access and exclusive videos. There's also a new tier, as I mentioned before, a VIP tier that you can request a reaction video from me every month if you so choose, so you can go check that out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.